Buongiorno amici, oggi andiamo in un quartiere in cui non sono mai stata prima. Dovrebbe avere degli edifici molto belli e anche un po' misteriosi, forse anche infestati. Andiamo! So this neighborhood is sort of like a secret neighborhood, a hidden gem, if you will, in Rome. It's called the Coppedè neighborhood, named after the architect Gino Coppedè. It's filled with a lot of unexpected and bizarre architectural features, mixing Art Nouveau, Art Deco, and also Greek, Gothic, Baroque, and medieval influences. This neighborhood was built between 1913 and 1927. Coppedè is to Rome as Gaudi is to Barcelona. So it's a very eclectic area. If you've been following my channel and watching my videos, you know that I love history and I love to find old pictures of Rome and show you what it used to look like and what it looks like today. So I found a few old pictures, and I believe the old pictures are covered in scaffolding, so not much has changed. Something to know before you go is that there are no cafes or restaurants in the area, and there's actually not many places to sit down, and there's not a lot of drinking fountains, so make sure you come at a time of day when you're prepared for that. There are also no metro stations close by, and the easiest public transport would be by catching bus 86 or 92 and getting off at the Piazza Buenos Aires. And the entrance to Coppedè is at the corner between two streets, Via Arno and Via Tagliamento. This dramatic arched entryway is the main entrance to the neighborhood. There were some details that I wanted to film for you, but unfortunately it's covered in scaffolding, so I will have to come back and include them in a future video. The main fountain in the roundabout is the Fountain of the Frogs, or the Fontana delle Rane. It was designed in 1924, and it was intended to be a tribute to Bernini's fountains, and you might recognize this fountain from a photo taken of Sophia Loren. The Palazzo del Rano, or Spider Palace, is a fun building, and it gets its name from the large spider depicted on the front central stained glass window, and it has columns and archways in an Assyrian Babylonian style. The extremely complicated design is an homage to the industriousness of the spider, and standing back, there are lots of other intriguing decorations to observe, like the large face, lion heads, griffins, a variety of different columns, a balcony on a higher level, and frescoes on the facade. By the way, if you're new here, hi, my name is Alyssa and I'm an American photographer living in Rome, Italy. Here on my channel you'll find lots of vlogs about my life in Rome, exploring Italy, learning Italian, and I love to film churches, art, history, culture, things like that. So if that's something that you're into, go ahead and hit subscribe. I am on a mission to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the summer, so join this little group of friends and let's get back into the video. One of my favorite buildings in the neighborhood is the Villa of the Fairies, or Villino delle Fate. They are 3 chalets sharing the external walls, and Gino Coppedè wanted to pay homage to the culture and art of the cities Rome, Florence, and Venice. So he created a mixed style featuring mosaics and decorations of Romulus and Remus, as well as the portraits of the poets Dante and Petrarca, together with the lion, the symbol of Venice. These 3 styles together are kind of difficult to describe, but when you see it, you'll sense this unusual harmony in all its eclectic forms, and it just works. The villas are privately owned, And here in this neighborhood, the cost of the estates is equal to, if not higher than, one in the historical center of Rome, reaching about 7,000 euros per square meter. So it would be somewhere around 4.5 million these days. Plus, the chalets are usually fairly big. I came over to the Borghese Gardens to find a nice, calm, quiet place to talk to you a little bit more about that neighborhood, about that area. And I just wanted to mention that today people are being so talkative and friendly, and I love it. I have my large tripod, so I look extremely touristy today. While I was filming the fountain, an old man was standing across the street staring at me, and we waved at each other, and I stopped to talk to this Japanese guy in Italian, and we were just chatting about the area. Anyway, people are just stopping me and talking to me everywhere I go, and it's great. I love the practice. So today, these buildings, some of them are schools, embassies, and some are privately owned. On the inside, there are mosaics, Roman-style mosaics, and lots of colored glazed tiles, things like that. So the insides are supposed to be really beautiful as well. So apparently, Gino Coppedè belonged to the Masonic Society, and he used a lot of their symbology, symbols in the architecture. Decorations of the Templar tradition and the columns, like the ones in the Solomon Temple. I don't really know too much about the Masonic Society, but there's a lot of influence in his architectural design. I read an article, and I'm going to read some of the things to you. So it said that there are interpretations that suggest that the whole district is an initiatory journey, which starts the moment that you enter the arch and continues with the vision of the masks, knights, and mythological figures forming part of the exterior decorations of the building. So I've heard people talk about this neighborhood and say that it's really like a spooky vibe, and there's not a lot of people because not a lot of people live there. But today there were lots of people running errands, going in and out of buildings, and also other tourists taking pictures. So I didn't really pick up on the spooky vibe, but it is also an area that has been used in a few different films. A lot of directors like this area. One of the most famous is Dario Argento, and he is known as like a cult horror film director. So I've never seen those movies because I'm not really a horror lover. Me and the Japanese man were talking about that. And one last fact about the area that's a completely different note is about the Beatles. They were here in Italy doing a summer tour. In 1965, they were doing a show at the Piper Club that's nearby. And the story goes that they were so hot after playing in there that they ran outside and jumped into the Fountain of the Frogs in their outfits and were splashing around in the water. But if you do that today, you'll get in a lot of trouble, so I don't recommend jumping in the fountains in Rome. So overall, I would say that this neighborhood, first of all, is kind of a pain to get to. It's kind of far away. And then I think because my first impression of it was that everything's covered in scaffolding and I couldn't see many of the details I wanted to film for you, I have to come back here. But I didn't pick up on the spooky, creepy, haunted vibes. It was more just very artistic and lots of little tiny architectural details, so I enjoyed that, and it was nice to see a different area of Rome that I've never been to. If you're only in Rome for a few days, I think you can pass, but if you're here for a while, it might be fun to explore that area. That's gonna be it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.